what I've seen of Starfield, what really makes me want to play it is like the ships. Like it seems like you can like make. I've watched videos where people have made like a Millennium Falcon, and like it really kind of looks like one, and like
already on Starfield.
Yeah, they've built it themselves, and
gosh, dude, some people, man. I mean, it barely came out on early access, and they're already
and I've seen these videos where it's like 10 years in the making, and like and the first thing everyone does is make a big dildo, a big dick, flying dick.
We got to clip that. Let's clip that. Go Gamers! For the longest time, Chuck, for the longest time, man, I have just been wanting to live my best space exploration life. And there hasn't quite yet been a game that's really been able to deliver that for me. No Man's Sky is the shit, but there's a lot missing in my opinion, and it keeps getting better. Props and shout out to Hello Games for always consistently improving that game, and at no cost. It's getting much better. EVE Online has a lot that other games don't, other space games don't. Loving it. But there's a lot missing there, right? You can't like land on planets, and you're always in your ship. In fact, it's really based around that ship.
Yeah,
but Starfield.
Yeah.
What do we got up? What's going on with this Starfield, man? In fact, I think early access is already open, right? You were on the loop in the loop.
Hey, I just want to check real quick. Did we hit record in Skype?
We did not. Let's hit that. Don't worry. We can keep going here. Good eye. Good eye. All right, now we're going in Skype too. But anyways, same flow.
Picture there for a second. All right, yeah, we're good.
Don't worry, Chuck. Fuck. The ship isn't crashing. We're good. So you're already ready for Starfield. Adjust the thrusters.
I feel like
More
this
power to
Earth
the
is
weapons.
going up in flames, and I got to get off of it ASAP.
Shit's blowing up.
Yeah. So like the human race depends on it, I think.
Anyways, Starfield, man. It's on early access, right?
I want to say it came out all the way.
Not yet.
What's the date?
September 6th, which I think is Wednesday.
Today's the 3rd, yeah.
You double checking?
So it isn't. It is still in early access. I guess for some reason I watched this one guy and he was saying like he hadn't played yet, but that must have just been his own personal time restraints or something. I was assuming he was saying it was coming on out all the way, so I hadn't looked at that date. I did see the early release was out, and
yeah, I think a select group of humans got the early access.
You'd think like gaming podcasters would get that. Like, maybe should I check my email? Like,
oh God,
you don't think it's there, do you?
We'll be there someday, Chuck.
I believe,
Master Chief Chuck. We'll be there someday,
dude. God,
that would be sick. I mean, Bethesda. If you happen to hear this someday and you want to shoot us a copy, even if it's
shoot us a code.
Shoot us a code. Shoot us a download. Shoot us an exe file. We'll execute that bitch. We'll test her out for you. No, but it's coming out on September 6th, Wednesday. And man, like I was kind of hinting at, I love space games a lot. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I'm also a Star Wars fan. Fine. It's true. But I love space exploration, and I love video games about space exploration where you are the explorer. And I feel like a bunch of different games out there give me a little bit of that, but there isn't one that kind of just brings it all together into one, fully integrated, all-encompassing space exploration.
I think
holding my arms out.
Even when I'm watching like the Star Wars, Star Trek, I think Star Trek goes into more detail about like the universe, and you still can't understand the scale of it. Like for me, because tell me, am I wrong? Just a little deviation as far as like what we know of Star Trek. Like the whole time they're in our galaxy, right? Like they haven't.
Yeah, they're just fucking around in the Alpha Quadrant, the Gamma Quadrant, and I think they go to what was the other one?
Voyager goes to the Delta Quadrant. So
Delta Quadrant.
So basically they've divided the universe up into
the galaxy.
The galaxy. One galaxy. Of like as I'm taking it, like these new fancy telescopes and stuff are seeing like millions and billions of other galaxies.
Countless galaxies, man.
So when we're playing these space games, like are they like, is No Man's Sky just in a egg? I guess it's in about 5 or 6 galaxies now as I think about it. Like it's in.
Yeah, there's multiple galaxies in No Man's Sky,
but not
and like some quintillion number of planets.
But I would say there's like maybe 15 galaxies or something. Like maybe.
You want me to check real quick? Dude, let me check real quick.
Because there's like something that's like Eisenberg or something.
No, man, you're talking about Breaking Bad. That's Heisenberg. the Heisenberg cluster?
Yeah, this one starts with an E.
I'm sorry. What were you watching last night? How many galaxies are in No Man's Sky? The universe of No Man's Sky comprises 255 unique galaxies numbered from 1 through... Okay, that doesn't matter, but... So 255, Chuck.
Okay.
So I guess we were both a little off.
And like Star Trek Voyager was like too far to ever make it back home when they were in the Delta Quadrant, right? Like
they needed a lot of help.
Yeah, like Q had to give them a little boot there or something to.
You don't know.
You on back home now. Yeah. I don't want to even talk about that. Like I could go on forever about that because it was kind of like the episode they were just chilling and then they ran into Q and they were home and there was a parade and it was over. Like series end. Bye.
Hey, let's not give the Star Wars community more weapons to fight with, man, against us in the Star Trek. No, but look, okay, fair enough, and we get the point there. It's massive, like, and you feel that like playing No Man's Sky, it feels massive. Sometimes it feels so massive, it's like, there's so much to do in that game, but it's like, what do I do? Like what am I even? I'm like a small speck in this huge thing.
Guys.
And then similar situation with EVE Online. I'm not Elite Dangerous, similar, like huge. But with Starfield, in fact, one of the things that you need to know is that it's a big map, but it looks like it's going to have 100 solar systems and around 1,000 planets. So that's a much, when we're speaking of this, like, huge, these galactic proportions, forgive the pun, 1,000 planets and 100 solar systems is much more reduced. But still huge. Like, that's still a lot of exploration to handle.
Is it going to have gamers, non-gamers, and PvPers and PvEers and NPCs?
I see what you're getting at here. Welcome, gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, and even NPCs. This is the New Wave Gaming Podcast. I'm Ovox, and here is the amazing, one-of-a-kind co-host,
ChukTomahawk.
That's it. ChukTomahawk, the Commandant, the Master Explorer.
That was my best Duke Nukem I could do there, but yeah, I didn't want to get too far out into space before we forgot to do that. But
I thought I was gonna let it fly, man. I was gonna just let it. I feel like so many people want to just hear about Starfield. I was gonna let that one fly this time and experiment, but it is good to. I think welcome everyone.
Like them pro podcasts, they do it once, like, and it's like they just push a button or something maybe, and it goes off. Boom. Intro button.
We're a pro podcast. We just haven't got out to the galaxy yet. We're not galactic yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. One listen at a time. And yeah, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy it. We're uploading every 2 weeks. Kind of been uploading. We're trying to get a new rhythm going of really just uploading every weekend if we can. But we'll always try and hit that 2-week mark for you so that there's always something fresh coming your way. Yeah, subscribe, all that shit if you want to, if you like it, if you enjoy it.
And we're here to talk about Starfield.
Yes, not Starfish, Starfield.
Starfield. I've heard a few. I heard one like where somebody done, they had kind of changed that name up there, and but I can't.
Kind of like made it nasty.
Yeah, it was the front was what was changed, but.
Oh man! But
so you've seen some gameplay too, right?
I've seen very short clips of brief gameplay. It looks to me like a very, very combat-centric game, like a first-person shooter combat story with space in it.
First impressions, kind of seems like when you.
I mean, that's kind of my first impression. What I started with, like, I'm kind of excited. Like, I think this might be the first game that brings everything in, that brings it all, like mining, space exploration, base building. Planetary exploration, combat, PvE, PvP. So yes, to answer your question, it will include PvP, PvPers, PvEers, and even NPCs. There's going to be NPCs. There's going to be campaign and storyline. There's all these things it's bringing together. I do have some things. We have some things that I think the listeners need to know that it's not going to have. That I was kind of bummed out about.
Well, I agree.
You already know what I'm talking about.
I agree, but it sounds like your first impression was like focused a little bit on the combat. Like you probably saw some of the spaceship battles and the guys kind of going through space stations, shooting at things. And I don't know that I saw anybody shooting at anything like just outright on a planet. But I did kind of see almost like you were infiltrating a space building or something. But did you ever play the Fallout game at all, or any of the Fallout?
I didn't. In fact, I need to be blunt. I need to be a disclaimer. The only Bethesda game I've played is Skyrim.
Okay.
But Chuck, I think you've played a bunch of them, right?
I haven't played a bunch. I did get I think Fallout 4 as a gift, like a Christmas present, and for my girlfriend at the time, and had to really give it an honest shot, because I mean she had got it for me. It seemed like the right thing to do, and I went back to look it up. Like the way I described it, I think online the other day we were talking about games everybody likes that I personally don't like, and that's Fallout for me. And the thing I didn't like is something called the VATS system. I forget what that acronym stands for, but like during combat, there are these moments where. Like imagine we're playing Warzone and we're squared up with our opponent and we're having a shootout, and then all of a sudden it goes into super slow motion. And like I think on maybe on Xbox you push the left trigger to activate, or left bumper to activate the VAT system. And then it focuses in on the character, and there's these little lines that come off different parts of their body, like the head and the chest and shoulder. And you can pick those points to concentrate on shooting. And it's just a very different experience than a live action gun battle to me.
Okay. I see.
And I won't say that just because of the slowing down I didn't like it, because that's how the Matrix game was, and I've been screaming for years, why can we not get that again? Because that was fun as shit. Dodging bullets was fun as shit. Because I could take Neo and run up the wall and shit, and
I think I remember playing that game, and it was so much fun. Man.
I genuinely and there's this pill you can take in GTA sometimes. I think that slows things down. I generally like that in a mechanic in a game, but something about this one, the way I described it, is almost like I was throwing dice, because I think I did after researching it a little more, find out that the number, that there's these little numbers that come up beside each little body part, and It'll be like 97, and that's your percentage of hitting that. And I didn't know that at the time. I just see this shit come up, and there's like a bunch of numbers, and I'm like raising them and lowering them, and it's almost like I'm shoving a shootout and playing dice at the same time or something. It felt like, and I was just like, God, this is just not for me. It reminded me of like I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I assume that's what it's like. It's like you're fighting an orc. And now roll to see how well it goes. Like is how that felt to me. And it sounds like Starfield's got a version of the VATS in it.
You heard that?
I have heard that. I haven't seen it in any of the gameplay though. Like anybody locking on to something like that. But I have heard it, and it is a Bethesda game. And I found something that like too that reminds me from Fallout. Is like it always looks like in one of these games, like we're watching the footage of when they first landed on the moon to me. Like it's almost half-assed black and white, but it's not. And like there's just something about that. Like I feel like they've done that to maybe fight that. Like where I feel like when video games are really colorful, sometimes art even like in the details not really there. Like it kind of looks like a cartoon, and it doesn't produce that real world buy-in. And I feel like Bethesda makes these games kind of like that for that reason, but there's something, I don't like it. Like it kind of, I'm not saying I won't try this game.
Well, an example of what you're saying is No Man's Sky. It's like, it's almost so colorful that it's cartoonish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just not, it's just real enough to be real, like to be, because like everything looks pretty like plausible until you see the aliens. And like you see a little geck, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's like you guys hammered that out in the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And so I've noticed that when we play these, like if I play long enough, I don't see that shit anymore. Like I see, I know
like
it's kind of half-assed there, but it's like my brain kind of compensates somehow. And it's almost like when I'm watching the Bethesda ones, it looks more like I'm looking at a photograph to me, like which I think is a good thing. Like in a lot of ways, it's realistic graphics, but I'm talking first impressions here. It's like I'm kind of looking at this from afar, and it's like, why does it look like an old black and white photo?
Are you saying they cranked a little too hard on the realism in terms of graphics?
I don't know what the limitations are, so I can't speak to that. I mean, like I haven't got to play with them dials and say like, okay, if I do this in Unreal Engine or whatever, it's going to. I was
just going to ask you that, Chuck. Do you know what they built it on?
I don't.
Let me check real quick, because that's a. Let me get a little closer to the mic. That's an important factoid, I think.
I just assumed Unreal Engine 5. Dude, I've been seeing these, like, while you're looking at that, I'll tell our listeners about, like, I've been seeing, like, little mini-movies made in Unreal 5 that are pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, they used the same engine, I think, that they've always used, called the Creation Engine 2. Uh-huh. I think I've heard stuff. I've actually heard some positive and negative critiques about that because of the fact that it's been used on all of their other games, I think. And you know how there's a lot of controversy around all of the Bethesda games? Like there's a lot of negative critiques around the Fallout games.
Like kind of what I'm saying? Like it's...
Oh, yeah, man. Like glitchy messes, like Fallout 76. And I'm kind of just like trying to recollect stories I've heard as a person that hasn't played those games, but like... I've heard a lot of negative.
I've definitely heard like,
feedback.
Excuse me. It takes like 30 hours or something to really start feeling it very much. Enjoying
like Pepe Tortilla, our fellow gamer Pepe Tortilla, dude. He's always just like, when Fallout comes up or Bethesda, it's just like, oh, dude, forget it. But he also loves Skyrim. And then as far as I know, even Skyrim was a buggy mess.
True.
Until all the mods and updates and stuff really started gathering up. Then it became like, all right, Skyrim's the shit. In fact, I'm excited to get into Skyrim. I still have that on the old library.
I will say this does seem a little polarizing because I remember when my girlfriend got me this and I finally, so I could go back to playing Battlefield 4, I had to say, like, this ain't for me. And her response was like the person, like I think she had gone to GameStop and like the person behind the counter had recommended it. You know, it was just like, this is the greatest game ever lived. And you know, I think that kind of has been my experience. It seems like you're just way into that or you're not, you know, and
Yep.
There were a lot of things about the vibe of the games, that I did like sort of the way they approached the post-apocalyptic world, kind of like tongue-in-cheek style, like seemed really cool to me. But and the mechanics somehow like it lost me. But as far as like what I've seen of Starfield, what really makes me want to play it is like the ships. Like it seems like you can like make. I've watched videos where people have made like a Millennium Falcon, and like it really kind of looks like one. And like
Already on Starfield,
yeah, they've built it themselves. And
gosh, dude, some people, man. I mean, it barely came out on early access, and they're already.
Well, and I've seen these videos where it's like 10 years in the making, and like and the first thing everyone does is make a big dildo, a big dick, flying dick.
We got to clip that. Let's clip that. Go Gamers!
It's just like in any building
I mean, what else are you
scenario,
gonna build? What else do you
Can
craft?
I build a dick?
Let's see if we can make a giant flying cack. Put a couple of
Even
extra
in real
boosters
life,
on the back.
like the first rockets that went to the moon. First thing
They
a
did kinda
billionaire
look like
does,
giant
they build a
penises.
giant space cock.
A nice space shaft.
Oh, I made the Forbes top.
Don't make it too girthy; it'll fall out of the sky.
I want to sit right on top of it.
Jesus. Oh man, no homo, no homo. Yeah, I want to sit right on top of that, no homo.
Blast me to the moon.
What else? Like with the space, dude. You mentioned the spaceships. I wrote some notes down. You've got, good old piloting, of course. You can pilot your ships. You got dog fights, but apparently they're going to be kind of like slow paced. There's not going to be any like, Klingons versus the Federation, the Rebels versus the Death Star galactic type battles. It's going to be more like, more upfront and personal, more, you versus me. And apparently you can attack. Like you asked, is it? I think you asked in the beginning, and maybe I might be wrong. You said PvE, PvP, or something like that. And yeah, you can shoot and attack anything.
I have saw a good bit of the game of the space battle gameplay, and it reminds me of No Man's Sky, and I know for a fact there's a lock on, and because I saw this guy the other day, he was like, I don't even need the lock on. It was like, watch this, because I've been in combat, like my first combat in No Man's Sky when I didn't know there was a lock on. Fuck, dude, I would never hit anything like without a lock on in there. Like
I didn't know that lock on thing existed until I was hundreds of hours in. Pepe's like, why don't you just hold down L2? I was like, no shit, that's what that button does? I thought it just stopped you and reversed you, but it actually, dude, game changer. Anyways, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but yeah, continue.
Yeah. So, what I saw, like it was almost like he had control. Like there's a large, HUD, heads up display circle, and then inside of that there was kind of like something that was locked onto the target, and then he had a circle that he had to get over what was, kind of red over the target, and he was having to lead a spaceship, that was kind of flying and also crossing his front end, flying away and across the front end like that. I mean, yeah, they're pretty big scale space battles, and
well, what do you mean? You mean scale in their ferocity, or like was it like 5 versus 5, 10 versus 10?
All I saw was
1v1?
1-on-1, but I did see a lot of others. What made me say that is there were other spaceships around, like that looked more like freighters and things like that, But I do think there will be something cool about like building your own ship and like equipping, blasters and shields and things on it, and then testing that in combat. Because there's I'm comparing this to No Man's Sky a lot, but in there you can change the guns a little bit, but there isn't a lot you can do to really.
Not yet. No, not yet.
Really spice that up too much. And
no, you're 100% right.
And I don't know. I got the impression almost like this guy got his ship back somehow or something. Like I'm not sure you lose it forever, because you kind of don't in No Man's Sky, do you? Like if I get blasted out of the sky, what happens? I can't remember exactly. Like I end up.
You just kind of respawn, and some of your shit's broken, and you may have lost some of your stuff, but you definitely have shit broken. It depends on what mode you're into. But like shipbuilding in Starfield is going to be mostly like modular, I guess. Like you're going to have modules that you can like build on, and I'm sure you can change colors of those modules and size and so on and so forth. But they really made it easy in that you just kind of snap shit together. Think of Legos. Think of building your ship with Lego pieces. You just click shit on and it just snaps on. And there's also like an oh no, that's for the base building, which we can get into as well. I'm not sure I think for the spaceships as well, you have like kind of a top-down view. They call it isometric, I think, where you can look down and it just really makes the ship building and base building real easy. But the ship building, like, man, you can like customization. It's modular. There's what else do I have written down here? There's like power allocation. You got to take into like weapons, power.
I did that reminded me a lot of space, like space. What do you call like the genre? Space, sci-fi, Star Trek, and
sci-fi.
Stuff. Yeah, yeah. Why did I call it sci-fi? Yeah.
Sci-fi.
That seems to be
I like
always
it.
what's
Let's
going
keep
on.
that. Can we keep that?
It's in the sky. There's
Are you in the sci-fi or ain't you?
That's retarded. What? Oh, it's instead of saying a blessing in disguise, you say it's a blessing from the sky. I think that's right. This here's a blessing in disguise.
Oh man. Is that so? Is the ship kind of like you said that's what you're looking forward to? You're looking for the shipbuilding.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, that's right. Seamless transitions is the note I have here when it comes to starship building. It's just seamless. That's something that they referenced. Apparently it's supposed to be pretty user friendly. You can also have a crew, man. You can have a ship crew.
That's kind of where I was going
with
the
specialties.
NPC thing. Like to me, it looked like almost like that the thing they've got going in the new the Sons of the Forest, like where you got your buddy Chadding around.
Is his name Chad? Is his name seriously Chad?
No, that's that's like all generic white dude. His name Chad.
yeah, Chad. Yeah, that's why I was like, there's no way they named him Chad. Because, that's not out on console yet. I haven't played Sons of the Forest.
People are streaming that on TikTok as well. I've been watching a little bit of it. Yeah, he's got Chad's with him. Chad's loading wood. Chad's chopping wood.
Well, I think on Starfield you can have a lot of Chads
and
Chadettes.
I've seen people like going through like gun battle type situation, and Chad's he's busting along with them.
Dude, Chad can be like your backup pilot if he's got better piloting skills than you. You can have him pilot. Same with like combat, engineering, I suspect, anything. But that's so cool that you can have a crew on your ship. You know what I'm curious is, are you going to be able, kind of like you can on No Man's Sky with your freighter, are you going to be able to like, be like, hey, Chad, take the wheel, brother. I'm going to go grab a coffee. And like, you get up, walk to the back of the ship, throw on the percolator. You know what I mean? Like that would be so cool, man. I want a game where I can, I'm so excited for Starfield. I just want a game where I can live in space. you know, and not have these limitations. Like, I think we should mention this real quick while we're on the spaceship. And this is one of the things that bummed me out is you're not going to be able to like land your ship on a planet.
Ooh, you just reminded me, yeah.
And you're not going to be able to get out of your ship. You know, you basically, there's like a cutscene. So that's, you know, that
I've heard that even when you're going from indoors to outdoors, there's a loading screen, and I think that's why that's why they've made that like that, like where when you land that it has to go to that cutscene. It's a loading problem. Like they gotta load up the planet, you know, essentially.
Fuck, man, that really, I'm not gonna lie, that bummed me out.
No Man's Sky's got them beat there, boy, because I come in hot on them planets, man. I've come in upside down and not even know it.
Not even know. That's a little foggy.
Bust through those
Coming in
clouds,
hot.
I'm like,
Little
what
fog. Oh,
the
there's
fuck?
the ocean. Whoop. Come back around. Yeah, man. And then like when you get out of your ship, I mean, it could be cooler, I guess, but they really they got a good workaround. You kind of just like you just kind of transport out of it. It's like Star Trek, like when they beam a person site to site beaming and the transporter. Yeah. It's like the guy just transporters out of his ship and kind of appears on the ground there. No cutscenes, no loading screens. In fact, motherfucker will save your game for you while you're at it. You know, you jump out of your ship and it automatically saves your game. It's like whenever anyone that's new to Skype was like, oh, how do you save the game? Oh, just get in your ship, hop out, it'll save.
Yeah.
That's so cool. But no, I mean, in Starfield, it's not going to be like that. And it's like, I just feel like that's something that they would have been like someone in the development team was like, you guys, this game is so complete. How are we not going to have a seamless transition from ship to ground, from space to planet?
I feel like at that point someone said, like it was, we're going to either have this amount of detail on the planet, or we've got to have this. Like it was like the detail had to go down for us to be able to land, or we got to accept the loading screen, and it's going to be fucking awesome.
Well, maybe they'll update that in the future, because they've also, and this is another thing that you need to know about Starfield. It does use Starfield. It does use procedural
Chad,
generation.
get my spaceship. It has CGI.
It has CGI?
No, it's
I
not
don't know.
CGI. Procedural generation.
Calm down there, Hollywood.
There ain't no acronym for that yet. We talk about PG.
Yeah, Commodore Hollywood. Let's go. There's going to be procedural generation, just like No Man's Sky. So agreed. They probably, let's say that's right. That was the scenario. They're like, hey, boss, we got to make this decision. It would have been cool if they made that choice where they have planets with settlements on it, because there's going to be 4 major settlements. The one I'm most interested in is called Neon City. But you know, you've got
goes down. It sounds like,
dude, that's where the freaking space version of Shinjuku is. Let's go.
Shinjuku.
Red light district of Tokyo. Me love you long time.
I see you. You're a space agitator.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be a pirate for the Crimson.
I can see it now.
What do they call it? The Crimson Fleet.
I feel like you've been trying to start a war between Star Wars and Star Trek for the longest time. That's gonna be the right 20 years.
I didn't start no war. The war was already started. I'm just a loyal soldier. I'm a loyal Starfleet redcoat, red shirt, ready to die on the away team for Captain Picard.
Oh, get your first away.
We lost a good officer today, number 1. Anyways, going back to Starfield.
It's just a coincidence it was a minority and he was in a red shirt.
Dude, Star Trek is the best for that, man. Star Trek is the most, progressive, one of the most progressive shows out there, especially for the time all the way back to the 60s and everything. I mean, they had some bumps in the road, but dude, that's why I love Star Trek so much, man.
Hugh there locked tongues for as long as I can take it, man. We've had it all.
No, that's why Star Trek's the shit, because it's like, it's about our galaxy. You know, Star Wars is about a galaxy a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away, or whatever. You know, so if Earth turns out like it does in the Star Trek universe, dude, we're kicking ass as a society. But anyways,
True that.
Starfield, 4 settlements, and I'm bummed out on the thing about not being able to seamlessly transition from planet to surface, ship to ground. But anyways, enough about that. At least they were honest about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see it in the gameplay. Like,
there.
it wasn't like, what do you mean we can't, you know? So it's not a secret. But that's definitely something you should know, fellow gamer.
I will say, you know, just contrary to how I used it earlier, I have also augured in on. It's never crashed my ship, but I've knocked the shit out of stuff on No Man's Sky. Like sometimes the landing isn't super friendly to me, but yeah, I don't. As long as the detail's there, I think I'm okay with it in Starfield. Because it is a pretty cool little cutscene. And
yeah,
they do come down the ramp, proper down the ramp. Like I just kind of pop out there and like No Man's Sky, and
that's true. Maybe I should hold my judgments until I play it, which is going to be a little bit for me. You'll probably have an opportunity to play it before I do.
I think I might
we'll see.
Get it on Steam, I guess, and lay it here on the computer. I got a fan that ain't working on my computer. That's got me a little nervous. Sitting over there idle right now. Limping.
What if you just give it a good solid 3-fingered backhand?
I have given it a good
wake up
finger and it did not produce results. I cleaned it. I got this little blow thing. And I got some sewing machine oil. God, I hate the mic.
throw some Pennzoil on that bitch.
Yeah. Anytime I'm taking the glass off the side of the computer, I know troubles are coming. Like I got no business in there.
The times they are a-changing.
Yeah. The motherboard looks at the graphics card and is like, well, it's been good knowing you. Here comes old fucking thumbs again. Yeah. But, yeah, I feel like I'll play it maybe in the next year or so. But you got to get that new PC, man. Why don't you build one?
Oh, dude, it's if I lived in a larger city with reliable mailing network and an infrastructure for like where you live, I probably would.
Yeah.
How did you get your PC?
I ordered
it
on
mail?
eBay.
Yeah, I can't do that shit here, man. Are you good? You can use do you need some eye drops or something? Dude?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get
Yeah, no, take your time, dude. Yeah, take your time. We're here, dude. Keep the pod rolls on, Chuck. We got you. Chuck's going to throw in some eye drops real quick. He's got a little itchy eye. But I think we're going to... Another thing you need to know, fellow gamers, non-gamers, PvEers, PvPers, base building and settlements. You got the settlements. We knew about that. But what's important... Chuck, I was just telling the listeners about the base building, man. There's going to be base building, and there's also going to be settlements where you can buy a house. In case you want to buy a little space loft in Neon City when you want to get your
I did
on.
see that. That does look cool as shit. Like, and the way it was described is like for people that are wanting to live out their life in this game, like we're going to accommodate you.
My hand slowly starts going up. I want a space. Dude, this is the best thing I can get to space exploration, man. You ain't going to see me getting in no penis-shaped rocket put up there by...
yet, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's 2023. There's a lot of shit happening. We might be possible real soon.
Show up at work is to send another billionaire to the moons, huh? What you...
Where do you think our taxes are going?
Yeah.
Dude, base building. Give me your thoughts.
I only saw a little bit of it, and what I saw was kind of like saying it was pointing out in some of the other games, the Bethesda games, the base building, what and all that. And to me, it looked real similar to No Man's Sky themed. Like I'm not saying it was like that, but I noticed something that almost looked like modular construction. You know, like in No Man's Sky, once you've kind of upgraded a little bit, your you found
No, you're
enough
right.
salvage
You're
data
right.
to fucking God knows what.
Yeah, and you can build modular units on No Man's Sky. It also kind of reminds me of Subnautica, because you can also build. I mean, granted that's underwater, but it's still modular type building. But what looked cool about the Starfield kind is that again you can do this top down view that makes, and it's modular again, so you can just snap things there. You snap it together, and I'm curious as to how much variety there is, because some games have so much variety that that it can complicate the base building flow. What do I mean by that? If a game, for example, Ark has a lot of building variety, but it's also very simple to build. Like the system, the mechanic is very simple, so it makes all that variety not very cumbersome, not kind of like overwhelming, because you can really easily use it, move it. Like I want to build this, I want to build that. The system, the base building mechanic is like very user friendly, so it makes all that variety like cool. I want to have all that variety. But if you have a game that doesn't have a really like good building mechanic and there's a bunch of variety, it can kind of make it like, I don't want a base build. It's just overwhelming. There's so much shit, and it's hard to deal with, hard to manage. Like I've been kind of feeling that way with No Man's Sky. Actually, last night I was working on my temple, my Buddhist temple base, with that Japanese kind of look, and like I'm finally getting it to look the way I want it. But man, it's so complicated. The buttons are so annoying, and there's so much variety. It's like sometimes it's just like, you know what? Fuck this! I'm gonna go play City Skylines. You know what?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just hoping that
is. I feel like what's going to make it or break it for a lot of people, and you know, maybe you're one of them. Is the, can you make it perfect? Like, can you make it square? Can you make it? You know, like there's a lot to. That's when it can get frustrating. Right. You know.
You're totally right. Oh, for like me and the OCD people out there,
yeah,
that's going to be it. Well, that's why I'm kind of digging this, because if it's modular and it's kind of like a snap-on thing, hopefully it'll take that out of the question. You know, like no matter what, everything is going to be symmetrical and lined up. Like, oh, why is this 2 feet off the wall? Damn it!
I feel like where it kind of, yeah. One of the things I think it helps No Man's Sky is you can terraform, you know, the ground like that and make flat places, and like we can't do that in Ark. I think that at times has limited me a lot. Like if I could terraform in Ark, like if there was some kind of little terraforming tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Make a huge difference.
You've never been able to terraform in Ark. Mm-hmm. But the other side of this gamers is, you don't have to base build. You can go to one of these settlements, which again, I think there are 4, and you can just buy a house. And that house will come with a place to rest, store your loot, and there's actually going to be quests. You should be able to, according to this, there's going to be quests that you can take out of your casa, your home, your house. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm going to buy a pad in Neon City. That's where you'll find Ovox.
Downtown in a little apartment.
There's going to be factions. You need to know this. There's going to be factions and organizations that you can take like side quests with, including an organization faction called the Crimson Fleet, which I guess are a bunch of space pirate, saucy space pirates, man. I'm going to be rolling with the Crimson Fleet based out of Neon City. Shit. What else are you going to do?
I saw a little rundown of the factions, and it was almost like there's one faction that had all the good stuff, and I think that's where I'd like to be. There was kind of like
that's where I would like to be. Shoulder to shoulder.
Capitalism. Yay. I'd like to be one of the wealthiest people there with all the good stuff. Like, how can we start?
Many of loot box in my casa.
I do think I saw this one little video about like how to get a good ship and armor, like legendary is what they described it under the armor is.
The game has been out for like 48 hours, I think. How are people uploading that content already? It's been like 2 days and there's already how-to videos?
Because like if you're the guy that finds that shit first and gets them views, son, that's where them views gonna come from.
Dude, what are we doing, man? We gotta upload this pod. This is what you need to know about Starfield. Chuck, there's also gonna be dialogue interactions and convincing. Like there's gonna be dialogue interactions where it's not just like, spin the wheel, yes. Spin the wheel, yes, with a snark. Spin the wheel, no. It's going to be like proper dialogue options.
Change the twisted plot there.
Like, kind of reminds me of like Witcher 3, like real thorough dialogue boxes where, and your character is silent, won't be speaking. But you'll have these really like comprehensive responses that you can interact with players, with the NPCs. And it will change the development of the story, apparently. And you can also I think there's like pivotal moments where you have to actually do some convincing. And there'll be a green option, a yellow option, and a red option. The red option being like the riskiest, but might work, when you're convincing someone. And it'll bring along different outcomes.
I saw they made that infinitely variable too, like where even if you've got like say 100% on your ability to do that, like you could still fuck it up, and if you have none, you could still maybe pull it off.
You're always going to go for the 0%, best gain, highest risk.
What is most likely to let me see some titties? Is what I'm.
Right. Yeah. Would you like to join me in the jacuzzi? 0%. Fuck it, let's try it. Oh, I certainly would.
Yeah, baby! Neon City! Word on the street is that's what you're doing in Witcher, I think. Like you're looking for Witcher titty.
Oh, dude, let's move on to the next point that everyone should know. Well, shoot, I guess what I have written down here as well is that the main quest is apparently with the faction called the Constellation Group, and they have you out there exploring, searching, and collecting mysterious artifacts. That's kind of like the main story plot line.
Data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I have a sort of surrounding topic around this where it's taken 10 years to make this game. And I saw something like where they would kind of announced one of the next things they're going to make, like it's like a part 2 or a sequel to another game that they said like 5 years ago they put a trailer out for. Or something, and what I'm starting to worry is like how many more big games like this are going to come out in my lifetime. Like how much time we got left? Like if they're taking 10 years.
Well, I think you're going to have a lot of big games because that's just one developer. Just wait, man. GTA 6 is going to be out in no time. We'll be out hitting the streets.
Are you going to play?
Plowing them down. Oh, am I going to? Of course. What?
Why don't we? We've never played it in all the years we've gamed together. I used to play it.
Am I going to play Grand Theft Auto 6? Dude, I'm going to be one of the first buyers.
Nice. Well,
I always play those games until I get, I play them to boredom. I play them to,
You fucking
I've got GTA 5. I know you. I see the way you're looking at me. You're looking at me, and you have a little third eye up on the top of your forehead that says, "Well, download it already."
Show me
what are we waiting
the money.
For?
Put the money out.
Oh, dude, it'd be fun to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, I haven't played that in a long time. a long time. But yeah, dude. I love the Grand Theft Auto games, and I love the Red Dead Redemption games. But today it's all about Starfield, Chuck.
It does worry me that it takes that long, and like it's still obviously not completely done. It's not in its best form. Like you're talking, if these games take that long, and then they, ultimately reach their peak when they've got the best mods and all that going on, and the most people playing, and it's fun and kind of pumping up the in-game economies and all that. Yeah, that's a long time, dude.
Well, I think this is just the time that it took Bethesda to create this game. I don't think you should don't feel down on it, man. It's just how long Bethesda took.
Do you feel like that, like the same guys that started in the beginning are still there now, or something? I mean, Jesus.
Well, we should look into that. We could look into that. That could be an episode topic. We could talk about a little bit about game development and how some stories. Not as expert, but just stories out there about game development and releases and delays and stuff like that. But I honestly don't know why it took them 10 years, but I do know that they delayed it a couple of times, and it has taken 10 years. Is that how long it's taken, 10 years, Chuck?
That's word on the street. And the other,
Word on the street? Let's check real quick. Not that I don't believe you. What's
this thing going to cost me, too, is what I need to know. Like $100 or something for the...
Yeah, that's certainly something the listeners need to know. Starfield cost. Steam. Standard edition, $70. The premium edition will come with Constellation Skin Pack, Starfield Digital Art Book, original soundtrack, and the Shattered Space Story expansion that arrived the same time after the game's release, and will have a price tag of $1 Benji, $100.
You probably get a blueprint for building a space cock.
Oh yeah, and yeah, that's actually right here. No, I'm just kidding. It actually just says SC, but when you click on it, a little description drops down and says space cock.
Look at her, boys.
There she goes.
You're like,
oh my God, I love it when we podcast on Sunday mornings.
afternoon.
$70, Chuck. That's what you're looking at. And what were we going to check real quick? Oh yeah, how long? Wait. When was Starfield announced? It was announced... Okay, we're a little off, Chuck. It was announced during Bethesda's E3 presentation in 2018.
10 years.
Is that 10 years?
No.
Why did I even ask that? Of course that... Oh, sorry, I just kept reading this because I was looking at some other information here, but it says it was announced during Bethesda's E3 presentation in 2018. The game takes place in a space-themed setting and is the first new intellectual property developed by Bethesda in 29 years.
You've been hammering on that Skyrim. Why don't we play Skyrim? I know you said that a minute ago, and I think I kind of interrupted you, but...
It's single player.
Good point.
Yep.
Can't play together. That's why we don't play together.
But, I'm just going to finish The Witcher. I'm very close to finishing Witcher 3. I hit it up every now and then because we've been playing so many different games. But as soon as I finish Witcher 3, I'm going to dive into Skyrim. Like yesterday, we just started playing zombies just to get a little fresh, just a breath of fresh air to try something different. And we were playing Cold War Zombies, Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Ton of fun. So we'll probably, I think we're going to be playing that for at least a few days, probably.
I got to level some shit up. Yeah, I need some skills. Mm-hmm. We kept getting like a fourth person with us that was just dominating, and we were like,
fuck, dude, just carrying all three of us, man. Yeah. It's like, okay, The best thing we can do for this guy is all be kind of in the same corner so he can res us all really fast. I mean, at this point, that's all we can really do for this guy.
Keep shooting your
Or
pistol
gal.
rounds while you're down.
Yeah, yeah. Shoot our little 15 bullets till they run out. Fuck, man. That was fun. It was fun, though, and we got better.
It was fun.
It was better.
We were getting better. I'm amazed at how there was just basically a whole nother game in there. Like I expected it to be, Black Ops, but zombies. Like that. Just the enemy was the only thing that would be changed. But
Yeah. Just zombies. Yeah. That's it. Option zombies. No, but there's a bunch of different modes and maps. It looked like. It's super sick. You can make loadouts. You can create a class, which is super cool. I'd never experienced that in a COD Zombies, new weapons.
Ring of Fire.
And then what was the other thing?
That bush. What about that bush? You could shoot a bush out.
Yeah, little burning bush.
Get through there, zombies. Bunch of burn.
And here's a bush.
A bush.
Dude, I was gonna say something relevant and important, but you fucking just damn it! I'm blaming you, Chuck.
Reminds me.
Well, I'm trying to remember.
I saw this guy. He said he was the escape room champion of Tennessee. He said, "Don't put me in a room made of drywall and ask me to escape."
Become like a Kool-Aid guy. Smash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love he'd come over there, pour everybody a glass out of himself. Holy shit, this football practice is hot. He come busting out of the woods. Yeah.
Well, so that's that's all I got for Starfield, man. I don't know if you want to add anything there.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to see how it kind of goes, and I wish there was a way we could all get in there sooner. But it's exclusive on Xbox, huh? And PC.
PC and Xbox, yeah. For now, probably forever, man, because it is an exclusive. And when PlayStation, PC, and Xbox respectively get on their exclusive high horse, which I understand, whatever. I'm not gonna judge any of that, but it seems like when they do that, they're for real. Like, I've never seen Gears of War on the PlayStation.
True.
Wait, is it?
God of War.
No, Gears of War.
God of War is only on the PlayStation. Like, you can't get it on the Xbox, so they got to suffer through that.
I think, wasn't Grand Theft Auto an exclusive, and then they decided like it was so huge that like Xbox was like, fuck, we need to get in on that.
I feel like I used to play it back in the day, dude, because I would actually, I probably shouldn't talk about that on here.
It was a temporary exclusive. There was like an exclusivity period.
We used to play it at work. You sneak out there and be working.
Yeah,
Sticking it
raging
to the
fire
man.
outside. It's all good. It'll be all right. There's a pond.
More like standing by on a Saturday. Like, I've had to work all freaking week, and they made me come in because it's dry. Like, I'd pop that Xbox in there with me because there was nobody around watching. Like,
you're like, oh, Red Ring of Hell. We're good.
Radio
We're
right
good.
here, little radio sitting beside you, telling you what's going on in the world.
Little KROQ, K-Rock.
Oh yeah, overtime, boys. It's pretty justified, I feel like, but yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to say this. Here's my. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to give you my final thoughts and conclusions here. I'm very excited for all the gamers out there that get to try Starfield and play it. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's everything that you hope it is and everything that they've promised it to be. I hope it's not glitchy like all the other games that they released. In fact, I don't remember what the name of the feller is, but he publicly stated that if they were to release Starfield on the date that he said that thing, which is a little time back now, but he said that if they were to release it then, it would still be releasing as the least buggiest game they've ever released. So I hope it runs smoothly, and I hope you get to live out your space exploration dreams. And just have a great experience. Yeah. And I look forward to joining you in the Starfield galaxy as soon as one, it releases on PlayStation, or two, I get a better PC. Until then, engage.
Move forward with a high morale.
Watch out for the Crimson Tide. The Crimson Fleet.
Yeah.
Crimson Tide sounds pretty cool too, though.
You got to feel like as far as if we're not going to get to play it anytime soon, at least it probably is putting pressure on other games to get their act together and go after them billions of dollars in the industry. So
go after them billions of dollars if you guys want. Just give us good games. Don't fuck us. All right? Like snail games. Fuckers. Better make the ARC update free. Charging us over again for that shit.
I have to admit,
let's not talk about it, Chuck. Admit what you got to admit, and then let's wrap this bad boy up.
I'm scared to like another game like that. Like just how addictive it is. I can't be trusted with shit like that. That's like giving me like a big old pizza or something and saying, "Don't eat all that." You know?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Here, have these beers and don't eat all that pizza. I'm like,
yeah, like
okay.
Here's a fresh New York pizza right out of the city, and a nice side of real ranch dressing. Don't touch it though.
Yeah. It just I can't be trusted with shit like that, dude. It's like I need somebody to meter that shit out to me. Like, there you go. Nope. 2 hours, then you're done.
Well,
that's a good question about this game. Did you see anything that says like that? Kind of what I'm getting. Can you stop it? Like, can you pause it? Or shit being lost when you're not around?
We'll be able to YouTube that real soon. Just type into YouTube, "Can you pause Starfield?" And hey, someone will have put a video up on that dumb shit. But until then, Chuck, let it remain a mystery. Let it remain a mystery. Let us know what you think, gamers. Once you've played it, hit us up. Shoot us a comment or something like that. Email. We're all over there at NWG Podcast. We're on the Facebook, the Instagram. We're on Twitter, YouTube. Is that it, Chuck? Oh, we're even on TikTok. We're on TikTok as well. And you'll find us anywhere with the little @ symbol thing, and then NWG Podcast.
What if we could get a billboard in that city, that Xenon city?
Neon City?
Neon City.
Yeah. Neon Warrior Princess.
Yeah, like I like to see us up on, NWG Podcast.
Oof, man.
Broadcasting from the metropolis.
Are we forgetting anything, Chuck? I think that was it, right?
I think that's it, yeah.
Fucking. All right, well, have a good week, everyone.
Starfield it up, boys.
Don't forget to wash your asses.
Movie grasses.
Peace, Chuck.
Hey.